As a Christian, I've learned that sometimes the biggest challenge in life is not hardship, but the people we choose to ignore. We talk a lot about love. We sing about it. We post Bible verses about it. But when it's time to live it, truly live it, we often choose comfort over compassion and bias over brotherhood. In Luke chapter 10, Jesus tells the story of the Good Samaritan. A man is beaten and left half dead on the road. A priest walks by. A Levite walks by. Both of them, religious, respected, seen as righteous, they cross to the other side, but then a Samaritan comes along. Now, to the Jewish audience listening to Jesus, a Samaritan was the last person they would expect to be the hero. Jews and Samaritans didn't get along. There was hatred, division, years of cultural and religious tension. But Jesus flips the story. He makes the Samaritan the example of love. He's saying, your neighbor is not just the one who looks like you, believes like you, or agrees with you. Your neighbor is the one you've overlooked, maybe even the one you've disliked. And so, I ask you today, who is your Samaritan? Who is that person or group or type of individual you avoid? Who have you silently judged or written off? Maybe it's someone from a different background. Maybe it's someone who hurt you. Maybe it's a group of people you've always misunderstood. We don't like to admit it, but even as believers, we can carry bias deep in our hearts. Sometimes it's not loud or hateful. It's silent and passive. But it still keeps us from loving the way Christ commanded. Love is not just a feeling, it's a decision. It's choosing to show mercy when others walk away. It's stopping on the road when life says, just keep moving. The question today isn't, who deserves my love? The question is, will I love like Jesus, without conditions? Let's walk together through this journey of breaking down walls and building bridges. Because true faith isn't proven by who we preach to, but by who we love. As a Christian, I often remind myself that love is the greatest commandment, not just in word, but in action. Jesus said in Matthew 22:37-39, love the Lord your God with all your heart, and love your neighbor as yourself. But what happens when our neighbor is someone we've been taught to fear, ignore, or dislike? Let's be honest, bias is something many of us carry silently. It hides in our preferences, our assumptions, our quick judgments, and yet we are called to rise above that. The Good Samaritan didn't just help the injured man, he sacrificed for him. He stopped his journey. He gave his oil and wine. He placed the man on his own donkey. He paid for his care. He didn't ask if the man would repay him. He didn't check his background, beliefs, or behavior. He saw a human in need, and he responded with love. Can we do the same? It's easy to love the lovable. It's easy to be kind to those who are kind to us. But Christ's love is radical. It reaches across race, culture, politics, and pain. It asks, will you care for the one who would never care for you? That's hard. That's uncomfortable. But that's Christlike. I once heard someone say, bias builds walls, love builds bridges. Every act of kindness towards someone different from us is a brick removed from that wall. Every time we choose understanding over judgment, we break a chain. Every time we say, I see you, I value you, we reflect the very heart of Jesus. So again, I ask, who is your Samaritan? Is it the co-worker you've avoided? The neighbor whose lifestyle you don't understand? The relative who thinks differently from you? You may not agree with them. You may not fully understand them, but you are still called to love them. Because on the cross, Jesus didn't die for people who looked like him or behaved perfectly. He died for all of us. Broken, different, lost, and he loved us anyway. As a Christian, I've come to realize that one of the greatest signs of spiritual maturity is how we treat those we don't understand. Loving those who love us back is easy. But loving the Samaritans in our lives, those we might naturally avoid, disagree with, or feel uncomfortable around, that's where faith becomes real. Do you know why Jesus chose a Samaritan in his story? Because he was confronting the pride of religion and the hidden prejudice in people's hearts. The priest and the Levite represented religious systems, full of rules, but often empty of love. The Samaritan, though rejected by the Jews, had something they didn't: compassion. That's the kind of person God is calling us to be. You see, love is not proven by how well we quote Scripture. It's proven by how deeply we live it out. 1 John 4:20 says, "If anyone says, 'I love God,' yet hates his brother, he is a liar." That verse isn't meant to shame us. It's meant to wake us up, to remind us that faith without love is hollow. So ask yourself today, what biases are still hiding in your heart? What assumptions have you made about people who live differently, vote differently, speak differently, or believe differently? We can't say we follow Jesus if we only follow him where it's safe. Jesus went to the lepers. He spoke to the Samaritan woman at the well. He healed Roman servants. He touched the untouchables. He never allowed culture, race, politics, or people's opinions to stop him from showing love. And if we claim to walk in his footsteps, then neither should we. God doesn't need more noise. He needs more love, not a love that just sits in church pews or fills up journals, but a love that moves, a love that sees, a love that acts. So today I challenge you, reach across that line, start the conversation, offer the kindness, pray for the person you struggle to understand, sit with the one everyone else avoids, because when we love beyond bias, we live beyond boundaries.